Welcome back, dear listeners, to the most desperate phase yet in Bram Stoker's Dracula. After the horrifying violation of my beloved Mina in the previous chapter, we now continue with Chapter 22, Jonathan Harker's Journal. The pain is almost unbearable, but so is our determination. The Count has struck at the heart of our fellowship by forcing Mina to drink his blood. Now we race against time to destroy him before the corruption can take hold of her. Today we took decisive action, and I felt the fire of vengeance burning hotter than ever. Let us walk with me through these shadowed hours as love and hatred drive us forward. 3rd October, continued. I write these lines with a heart torn between despair and fierce resolve. The sight of Mina last night, my pure, gentle wife forced to drink the blood of that monster, will never leave me. She woke this morning in a state of deep anguish, repeatedly calling herself unclean and begging me not to touch her. I held her anyway, swearing that no power on earth or in hell would come between us. Mina showed incredible strength even in her suffering. She insisted on continuing her work with our records. Under hypnosis, a technique Van Helsing has been using, she revealed valuable information. She described darkness, the sound of lapping water, and the creak of wood. Van Helsing believes the Count is preparing to flee by river or ship, possibly returning to Transylvania, where he is strongest. We cannot allow that to happen. This morning the Fellowship held a council of war. Van Helsing spoke with grave authority. The time has come for decisive action. We must destroy every remaining box of earth. Then we must confront the Count himself. Madame Mina's safety depends upon our speed. The longer he lives, the stronger the bond between them may grow. We divided our forces once more. Dr. Seward and Lord Godalming went to examine the Piccadilly house more thoroughly. Quincy Morris and I, accompanied by Van Helsing, returned to Carfax and then moved on to other locations where we suspected boxes had been moved. In one abandoned house near the river, we made a significant discovery. Several large boxes were stored in the cellar. The earth inside was fresh and dark. Van Helsing performed the sterilization ritual with fierce concentration, crumbling sacred wafers into each box while reciting prayers. I helped move the heavy chests, my muscles burning with the effort, and my mind burning with hatred for the creature who had violated my wife. As we worked, a wave of cold dread washed over me. I looked up and saw the Count again, standing in the doorway like a shadow given form. His eyes burned with red fire. For one moment our gazes locked. In that instant I saw recognition, hatred, and a mocking challenge. He knew I was the same man he had tormented in his castle. Before we could reach him, he dissolved into mist and fled through a crack in the wall, leaving behind the sound of his low, cruel laughter. The rats surged forward in a black wave, forcing us back momentarily. When the chaos subsided, we finished our work on the remaining boxes in that location. We are making progress. Many of the sanctuaries have now been neutralized. The Count is being driven into a corner, but he is dangerous when cornered.
Later that night, I returned to Mina, exhausted but filled with grim satisfaction. She greeted me with love and quiet courage, though I could see the shadow of fear and shame in her eyes. She has asked Van Helsing to hypnotize her again. Under hypnosis, she spoke of moving water, the smell of the sea, and a sense of the Count growing weaker, yet more desperate. Mina then made a request that broke my heart. She asked me to promise that if she should begin to change, if the corruption should take hold and she becomes dangerous to us, I must destroy her as we destroyed Lucy. She begged me with tears in her eyes. Jonathan, my love, if the worst should happen, you must not hesitate. Drive the stake through my heart and cut off my head. I would rather die pure than live as one of the undead." I could not speak. The thought of raising my hand against Mina is more terrible than anything I faced in Transylvania. Yet I swore I would do whatever was necessary to save her soul, even if it meant destroying her body. The pain of that promise weighs heavier than any burden I have ever carried. Van Helsing has warned us that the Count may try to use Mina against us. The psychic bond created by the blood may allow him to see through her eyes or influence her actions when she sleeps. We have therefore decided that Mina must be kept under constant watch, especially at night. The professor spoke to us all before we retired. "We are close now, my friends. The Count is losing his sanctuaries. He will soon have nowhere safe to rest during the day. When that moment comes, we must be ready to strike the final blow. Courage, my brothers and sister. We fight not only for ourselves, but for the soul of Mina Harker and for all the innocent who would fall if this monster is allowed to live." I end this entry with a vow written in bold strokes. The monster who violated my wife will pay for every drop of blood he has taken. I will hunt him to the ends of the earth if necessary. With my friends beside me and God above me, I will see Count Dracula destroyed. For Mina's sake, for our future, he must die. That was chapter 22 of Dracula. A chapter of desperate action, profound love, and heartbreaking sacrifice. Through Jonathan Harker's journal, we felt the personal agony of Mina's violation, the continued destruction of the Count's earth boxes, the fleeting but terrifying sightings of the vampire, and Jonathan's solemn promise to destroy Mina if she begins to turn. Bram Stoker raises the emotional stakes to their highest point yet. The gentle Mina, once the moral center of the group, now carries the shadow of corruption. Jonathan's love for her has transformed into a fierce, protective fury that drives the entire hunt forward. The Fellowship is united as never before, but time is running out. The remaining boxes must be found. The Count must be confronted before he can complete his work on Mina or escape back to Transylvania. Stay with us for chapter 23, where the pursuit reaches a fever pitch and the final confrontation draws terrifyingly near. Thank you for walking with Jonathan Harker through this night of pain and resolve. If this chapter moved you to tears or filled you with righteous anger, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another entry from these journals of love and vengeance. The Count has wounded us deeply, but the hunters have not fallen. Until next time, hold those you love close when the mist creeps in, and never forget that even the purest soul can be threatened by ancient evil.